Does this sound familiar? It's 3 a.m., and once again, you're making that slow, familiar walk down the hallway to the bathroom. It's not the first time tonight, and deep down you already know it won't be the last. Every trip steals a little more of your rest, a little more of your clarity, a little more of the energy you need to actually feel alive the next day. You try to shake off the frustration, but it clings to you like a weight. Meanwhile, your partner sleeps soundly, breathing deeply, almost reminding you of what you're missing. And you ask yourself the question countless men ask silently in the dark: why me? Is this just what getting older is supposed to look like? So many men over 60 accept these broken nights as a life sentence, dragging themselves through each day with heavy eyelids, trudging through mornings that should feel peaceful, and tiptoeing through the night hoping not to fall or trip on the way to the toilet. But I'm here to tell you something very important and very honest. It doesn't have to be this way. Waking up multiple times a night is common, but it is not something you have to simply live with. There is a way to change this. There is a way to sleep through the night again. And today I'm going to show you exactly how. I'm Dr. Emily Parker, and for over a decade I've helped men over 60 reclaim their strength, restore their vitality, and improve their urinary and prostate health naturally, without harsh treatments, without complicated routines, and without giving up the parts of life you enjoy. In my practice, I've worked with countless men who struggled just like you. Men who thought waking up at night was a permanent part of aging, until they learned that the timing of how they drink water plays a major role in whether they wake up once, twice, or 5 times a night. What I'm about to share isn't a trend, and it isn't guesswork. It's based on real physiology, real patient results, and real science about how your bladder and kidneys behave as you age. And once you understand the reason behind those nighttime bathroom trips, the solution becomes surprisingly simple and incredibly effective. So take a deep breath, settle in, and stay with me, because what you learn today could genuinely change your nights and your mornings. Now, before we get into the method, I want you to understand what's truly happening inside your body at night. Most men I meet assume they're waking up because they drink too much, or because they just have a weak bladder, but that's rarely the full story. What you're experiencing has a name, nocturia, the medical term for waking up 1 or more times at night to urinate. And while it's extremely common in men over 60, it is not a normal or harmless part of aging. In fact, it's often a sign that your body's natural nighttime system is out of rhythm. When you fall asleep, your body is supposed to shift into what I call night mode. During this time, your brain releases a hormone known as ADH, antidiuretic hormone. And while it's extremely common in men over 60, it is not a normal or harmless part of aging. In fact, it's often a sign that your body's natural nighttime system is out of rhythm. When you fall asleep, your body is supposed to shift into what I call night mode. During this time, your brain releases a hormone known as ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Think of ADH as your body's internal water control switch. Its job is simple. Tell your kidneys to slow down urine production so you can stay asleep. But as you get older, your body produces less of this hormone. And when that happens, your kidneys don't get the message to slow down. They keep working at full speed, filling your bladder faster than it can keep you asleep. That's only part of the story. Many men also experience what I call the leg fluid effect. If your ankles swell a little during the day, something very common after 60, that fluid doesn't just disappear. The moment you lie down at night, gravity releases it, sending it back into your bloodstream. Within an hour or two, your kidneys start turning that extra fluid into urine. And there you are, wide awake at 1 or 2 a.m., and the consequences go far beyond annoyance. Losing deep sleep affects your memory, your focus, and your mood. It raises your risk of high blood pressure. It drains your energy and steals the joy from your mornings. And for many men, it increases the risk of falls, a serious danger for seniors walking in the dark half asleep. But here's the part most men never hear. Nocturia is not caused only by how much you drink. It's often caused by when you drink. And once you understand this, you can fix it. Not with medication, not with restriction, but with a smarter, more natural approach that works with your body instead of against it. And in the next section, I'm going to walk you through it step by step. Most men don't realize that their nighttime struggles actually begin much earlier in the day. In fact, when I sit with my patients and listen to their daily routines, I notice the same 3 patterns over and over, patterns that quietly make nocturia worse. The first mistake is something almost everyone does without realizing it: drinking too little water during the day. Many men think, if I drink less, I'll pee less, but the body simply doesn't work that way. When you go long periods without enough water, your urine becomes highly concentrated, thicker, darker, and more irritating to the bladder lining. That irritation sends false alarms to the brain, warning you to urinate even when the bladder isn't full. So, ironically, drinking less during the day often leads to more nighttime urges. And when men finally get thirsty and start drinking in the late afternoon or evening, their kidneys suddenly have to process a larger volume of fluid right before bed, which sets the stage for multiple wake-ups. The second mistake is believing you just have a small bladder. I hear this all the time. Men say, "Doc, I've always had a small bladder," or "I guess mine just fills quickly." But this is rarely the real issue. In most cases, your bladder is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The real culprit is the production of urine, not the storage. If your kidneys are in high gear at night because of low ADH or excess evening fluids, even the largest bladder wouldn't keep you asleep. And then comes the third mistake: evening drinks that seem harmless but cause real trouble. A beer with dinner, a small glass of wine to relax, a cup of tea, or even a soda, they all push your kidneys to produce more urine. Alcohol and caffeine are diuretics. They actively tell your body to get rid of water. Combine that with your body's already lowered nighttime hormone levels, and you have the perfect recipe for waking up 1, 2, or even 3 times before morning. These 3 habits, daytime underhydration, blaming the bladder, and evening diuretics, create a cycle of frustration. But the good news is when you understand the real cause, you can take back control. That brings me to the part of this conversation that often surprises my patients the most. The solution isn't about drinking less, it's about drinking smarter. There's a simple, science-based pattern of hydration that supports your kidneys, protects your bladder, and trains your body to stay asleep. I call it a smart hydration rhythm, and the heart of it is incredibly straightforward. Front-load your water during the first half of the day, taper gently in the afternoon, and stop completely before bedtime. Let me guide you through this step by step. First, start your day by hydrating early. When you wake up, drink 1 or 2 glasses of water before anything else. Think of this as telling your body, here's the water you didn't get overnight. Use it well. Through the morning, take steady small sips. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. By the time thirst appears, you're already dehydrated. With lunch, have another glass of water. By doing this, you're giving your kidneys plenty of time, daytime hours, to process fluids while you're upright and active. Then comes the afternoon transition. After 4 p.m., don't suddenly shut off water. That shocks the body. Simply reduce it. If you're thirsty, take a half glass or a few sips. During dinner, drink only enough to comfortably eat your meal. And now, the most important rule in this entire method: your last drop of liquid should be 2 hours before bedtime. I call this the sacred zone. If you sleep at 10 p.m., your final sip is at 8. This gives your kidneys just enough time to filter any remaining fluid so your bladder can truly rest. If your mouth gets dry later, rinse lightly or take tiny sips, but don't break the 2-hour rule. This alone has helped many men sleep through the night for the first time in years. And to strengthen your hydration even more, you can add a pinch of unrefined sea salt and a squeeze of lemon to your first morning glass. This improves absorption and lowers the chance of afternoon thirst. Finally, your dinner matters too. Avoid foods that irritate the bladder, spicy dishes, sugary treats, high-water fruits, soups, caffeine, and evening alcohol. Choose protein and cooked vegetables instead. These simple, gentle adjustments work together to reset your body's natural rhythm. And for many, the results come faster than they expect. Now, once you've established that smarter hydration rhythm, there are a few gentle techniques that can make your nights even more peaceful. I've seen these simple habits turn small improvements into life-changing results, especially for men who have been struggling with nighttime bathroom trips for years. One of the most effective is something we call double voiding. It means making sure your bladder is truly empty before you go to sleep. Here's how you do it. Right before bed, go to the bathroom and sit down, even if you normally stand. Sitting relaxes the pelvic muscles and allows a more complete emptying. When you're finished, don't get up right away. Stay seated, breathe, wait for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then gently try to urinate again. You'll be surprised how often just a little more comes out. And believe it or not, that small extra amount can be the difference between sleeping through the night and waking up at 2:30 a.m. with an uncomfortable urge. It's a tiny ritual, but for many of my patients, it becomes one of the most powerful tools in their routine. Another technique is something I teach to men who notice swelling around their ankles or feet during the day. You might not think swelling has anything to do with nighttime urination, but the two are very closely connected. When your legs hold fluid throughout the day, gravity keeps that fluid down. But the moment you lie down to sleep, that fluid finally moves back up into circulation, and your kidneys suddenly have extra liquid to process. This is why many men wake up 1 or 2 hours after falling asleep. To prevent this, try what I call the gravity elevator. 1 to 2 hours before bed, while watching TV, reading, or relaxing, prop your legs up on a pillow or the arm of a couch so they're slightly elevated above your heart. This gently shifts that stored fluid back into circulation earlier in the evening, giving your kidneys time to handle it before you fall asleep. Some men even wear light compression socks during the day to reduce fluid buildup, and it makes a noticeable difference. And finally, one more supporting habit. Pay attention to salt. A little pinch of salt in the morning water helps hydration, but too much salt throughout the day forces the kidneys to work harder at night. Processed foods, deli meats, canned soups, they all contain hidden sodium that increases thirst and, in turn, increases urine production. By reducing evening salt, you support both your bladder and your blood pressure. By the time my patients reach this point, after adjusting hydration, tapering properly, respecting the 2-hour rule, and practicing these simple supporting techniques, they often notice something remarkable. Their nights become calmer, their mornings feel clearer. And for many, it's the first time in years they wake up feeling genuinely rested. And I want you to hear this clearly. Your body is capable of change at any age. Whether you're 60, 70, or well into your 80s, your bladder, kidneys, and hormones can respond beautifully to gentle, consistent habits. You're not stuck with restless nights. You're not trapped in a cycle of fatigue. Small steps, practiced regularly, can lead to deep, restorative sleep that your body has been craving for far too long. If this conversation helped you understand your health a little better, I'm truly glad. I hope it gives you not just knowledge, but reassurance, because you deserve nights that restore you, mornings that energize you, and days where you feel fully present in your own life. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps more men over 60 take control of their well-being. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What's one habit, big or small, that has helped you sleep better? Share it in the comments. Your story might be exactly what another man needs to hear today.